The office, a place where we've all agreed that staring blankly at an Excel sheet while nodding at your screen is considered peak professionalism. Ever notice how everyone's a master of that deep concentration look? It's practically an art form. Like we've all signed that invisible agreement that the more dead-eyed you look at your screen, the harder you're working. Who knew pretending to be a spreadsheet zombie was part of the job description? Then there's the email etiquette. Ever sent an email that starts with just checking in when you're actually thinking, did you seriously forget this again? Or the obligatory best your name, which really just means please let me log off before midnight. And we all know about the silent scream, that moment when your boss asks for a quick word at 4:50 p.m. Let's talk about hierarchy. There's always that one guy who acts like he's a warrior on the corporate ladder, striving for CEO status while the rest of us are just trying to make it through Monday. His desk is practically a fortress, paperweights, motivational quotes, 3 pens too many. He'll give you a motivational speech over the printer as if the jammed paper tray is your personal obstacle to greatness. Ah yes, office culture is at its finest. We're not just co-workers, we're part of this bizarre silent play where everyone knows their part, their role, and most importantly, the art of looking productive. Picture this, humanity's first workplace. Probably some communal cave, right? Early humans may not have had the 9 to 5 schedule, but they certainly had rules. Imagine some poor soul banging rocks to make fire, and another just sitting there, loafing. Our instinct to contribute or pretend to in group settings likely stems from these early survival strategies, because in a world where survival was the top KPI, free riders were quickly left out of the team. In the grand scheme of things, workplaces are less like a hierarchy of skill and more like a strange social experiment. A living, breathing mechanism where order exists for the sake of survival, not purpose. Cue Michel Foucault and his concept of disciplinary power. It's not that you're following rules because you believe in them. You're following them because they subtly train you to. Every time you glance at the clock, every meeting you sit through, every cautious look at your boss when they walk by. These aren't just habits, they're subtle forms of social conditioning that mold you into a functional, compliant worker. This ritual, this communal surrender to monotony, speaks of a yearning, a dimly glimmering horizon that beckons but remains elusive. It is a dance of silent rebellion and quiet obedience, a fusion of patience and quiet resignation, tempered only by the vision of a life not yet claimed. And as each spirit moves forward day by day in this endless murmuring procession, one question emerges. Is this the essence of man, this endless dedication to the grind, or merely the shadows of something deeper, held in waiting, unseen and unbidden? Thus the cycle persists, a somber celebration of resolve, each wary step in time with the rhythm of those beside us, until the spirit awakens to seek anew, at last yearning for more. Self-determination theories suggest that even small acts of autonomy in a routine can lessen feelings of entrapment. Employees can focus on areas where they have control, whether through setting micro-goals, approaching tasks creatively, or carving out moments for personal interests, even within strict structures. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, famed for his work on logotherapy, argued that finding meaning in one's work, even in the smallest aspects, can transform experience of daily labor from monotonous to fulfilling. Frankl's perspective suggests seeking connections between one's job and larger life goals, reframing work as a means of serving broader values rather than a mere end. Amid the daily grind, there exists a chance for renewal. By seeking small acts of autonomy and fostering genuine connections, we can shift our perspective from mere endurance to meaningful engagement. Each step, however small, opens the door to deeper understanding and growth. Let's embrace the journey, acknowledging both the struggle and the strength found within.